Okay, today I'm going to be talking about media lies, propaganda, and the Sullivan case. Uh, since Trump entered the political arena back in 2015, the ordinary media BS was tolerable. You had to sift through it, but it was tolerable. If you paid attention, you could pick the lies out. But they have gone full on crazy since 2016, and it's gotten to levels that needs to be addressed. All right, straight up lies. Larry Elder and Candace Owens being the black face of white supremacy. Give me a break. That's a straight up lie. The insidious ones are half truths. Here's an example. Mike Williams routinely runs red lights and exceeds the speed limit. A half truth is deliberately omitting a fact that will straighten that shit up. I was a career firefighter for 40 years. Yes, I ran red lights and I exceeded the speed limit when I was responding to emergencies with lights and sirens blaring. I've been interviewed by media types that will try to trap you. You see it on these debates. The proctor of the debates will try and trap a candidate into saying what they want them to say instead of letting the candidate just speak. Where they try to put words in your mouth. I've actually had that happen to me, and that would be this sort of thing. Mike, have you ever run a red light or exceeded the speed limit? We never run to have. But I was no. I just said you just admitted you're in crime. Vivek Ramaswamy did it just the other day. Will you condemn white supremacy? Vivek is so brown he's almost black, and they're asking him to condemn white supremacy. Are you kidding me? Why don't you just say, hey, Vivek, do you ever go to a Klan rally? Anyway, and he told them, said, you're going to print that I wouldn't condemn, and they did. It's just a bunch of crap. But half truths are pretty insidious, full on lies. And then propaganda. Let's look at the definition. Propaganda: disseminating information of a biased or misleading nature. Biased or misleading, could be both. Used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. What I'm doing right now is propaganda. I'm biased because I'm an American. I'm biased against Chicoms, the Russians, the Islamic fascists in Iran. I'm biased on extremists on the right and left. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, and I'm stuck here in the middle with you. So yeah, I'm propagandizing right now. But it's with the best of intentions. Okay. So the media's gone full on nuts. Idiocracy rules the day. And it started with Sullivan. Sullivan versus the New York Times. This was a defamation case that made it to the Supreme Court back in '64. I'm going to give you a little history of the case. Now, the litigants in this case, the respondents, were the civil rights leaders. And I'm on their side. The New York Times did not have to lie to support him. They could have told the truth and things would have been just fine. But it all worked out, but it set a precedent. A unanimous Supreme Court decision set a precedent that's caused a lot of problems today. Okay, this was decided in '64 case. The Times took out an ad on behalf of the civil rights leaders and clergymen in Alabama fighting Democrat Jim Crow laws at the time. It accused about Alabama officials of violence and other wrongdoing. And after the case was resolved, the Times conceded that many of the statements were in fact false. Simple stuff, like the claiming MLK was arrested 7 times, where at the time he'd only been arrested 4. Little non-consequential lies, but it set a precedent, giving the press free rein to lie. The case did. Here's what the case boiled down to. How much falsity does the First Amendment tolerate in the contents of political speech? How much falsity? Well, you can lie all you want, but to me, you don't separate. You can't uncouple rights and responsibilities. Okay, if I uncouple rights and responsibilities, Second Amendment, I got the right to keep and bear arms. But if I just go willy-nilly banging off rounds and somebody gets hurt, I'm responsible for that. That same principle should apply to the First Amendment. I have a right to say what I want to say, but I'm going to be responsible for it. If I just lie to somebody and they call me on it, I should have to suffer the consequence for the lie. Well, the Sullivan case took away consequence. Here's what Justice Brennan said in his majority opinion. We consider this case against the background of a profound national commitment to the principle of debate on public issues should be uninhibited, robust, and wide open. I agree. And that it may well include vehement, caustic, and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government officials. I agree. But never anywhere in that majority opinion did he say lie. Hyperbole is okay, but lies, no. But is what this case did was it gave the press free rein to lie without consequence. You can face hyperbole and without getting rattled. Look at Jordan Peterson, Victor Davis Hanson, Riley Gaines, real classy people, when they rebut the left's hyperbole. The court also said that the plaintiff must prove actual malice. That's an impossible standard. You have to prove a state of mind of the person you're suing. You can't do that. Well, how do you know what their state of mind is? They had to, the actual malice had to be made with reckless disregard for whether the statement is true. Unlike traditional common law cases where, in defamation lawsuits, the defendant has the burden to prove his statement was true. So it's what Sullivan did. You have to prove actual malice. The plaintiff has to prove it's a lie. Where in common law, traditional stuff for ordinary folks, the defendant's got to prove it's true, that what they said was true. That Larry Elder is the blackface white supremacy. They have to prove that's true. Anyway, now here recently, Justice Thomas and Gorsuch have said the modern news media landscape played a role in their rethinking of Sullivan's actual malice doctrine, a stricter standard that applies to cases both in ordinary people. So, is what the doctrine did was it created this dual standard of justice way back in the 60s. That public officials have one standard of justice, the rest of us have a different one. Now that's been flipped. If progressives now have a get out of jail free card, and anybody that's America First going to jail, go to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200. Gorsuch and Thomas went on to say that the doctrine's recently been expanded to rulings covered public figures, celebrities, not just public officials. So celebrities lying on celebrities, the media lying on celebrities, and the celebrities have no real recourse to fight back. Well, I was raised not to complain without offering a solution. Here's my solution. Congress, by statute, vacate the Sullivan decision and direct the Supreme Court to revisit the matter. They'll vacate this decision based on the court exceeded its constitutional authority by creating law, and in fact creating laws, two standards of justice contrary to the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. And it goes a little further. Require warning labels compliant with consumer protection law on all media engaged in commentary and news. So I went under the kitchen sink. Consumer protection laws. This is just dishwashing. What you wash your dishes with. Warning for external use only. Keep out of reach of children. If in eyes may cause irritation, discomfort, thoroughly flush with water. So any product that may cause harm to the public requires a warning label. So imagine you're watching the news, the evening news, and every 15 minutes on whatever channel you like to watch, you see this. Warning, the contents of this program may be a damn lie, causing the consumer to make bad decisions and may be dangerous to health and safety. I would laugh my ass off every night watching the news. Right now, I'm throwing stuff at the TV, but that would be fun to watch. Y'all have a good day.